Israel and Iran's 12-day conflict has officially ended with a U.S.-brokered ceasefire, announced by President Donald Trump, who declared the conclusion of what he called the 12-day war. This 12-day span saw a rapid escalation following U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. In immediate retaliation, Iran launched missiles at the Al Udeid air base in Qatar, initiating a tense phase of reciprocal attacks. President Trump's naming of this conflict, the 12-day war, served to underscore its contained yet impactful nature. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed his government's acceptance of the ceasefire, crediting President Trump's proposal and thanking the U.S. for its role in what he called eliminating the Iranian nuclear threat. Netanyahu's office unequivocally stated that Israel's Operation Rising Lion was a tremendous success, having achieved all its objectives and more. These included neutralizing a dual immediate existential threat from both nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities, establishing full air control over Tehran's skies, inflicting severe damage on Iran's military leadership, and destroying dozens of central Iranian government targets. The path to this ceasefire was intricate, with initial communications at times seeming contradictory. After the U.S. strikes on its nuclear sites, Iran reported firing at least 6, possibly up to 14 or even 19 missiles toward the Al Udeid airbase in Qatar. While Iranian state media hailed this as a mighty and successful response, President Trump characterized it as a very weak response, which he noted was very effectively countered. Significantly, Trump publicly thanked Iran for providing early notice of these retaliatory strikes, a warning that enabled precautions leading to no American or Qatari casualties and minimal damage. This advance warning strongly suggested a deliberate Iranian effort to avoid major escalation and signaled a willingness to de-escalate. Despite these overtures, the fighting continued right up to the ceasefire's designated start. Hours before the official truce, Iran launched multiple missile barrages into Israel. One devastating strike hit residential areas of Beersheba, tragically killing at least 4, and by some reports, as many as 5 or even 7 people. Israel's ambulance service confirmed emergency personnel retrieved bodies from impacted buildings, and injured civilians were transported to hospitals. Simultaneously, Israel maintained its offensive, striking regime targets and government repression bodies in the heart of Tehran. These targets included the notorious Evin prison, known for holding political activists, and various military leadership sites. Israel also reportedly attacked roads leading to Iran's underground Fordo enrichment facility, which the U.S. had heavily bombed days prior, to obstruct access. The head of the UN nuclear watchdog anticipated very significant damage to Fordo, although Iran claimed to have moved nuclear material before the strikes. Separately, Iranian state media reported 9 deaths and 33 injuries in northern Iran from Israeli strikes on residential buildings. A nuclear scientist was also reported killed. The ceasefire itself materialized through extensive diplomatic efforts. A senior White House official confirmed President Trump engaged directly with Prime Minister Netanyahu to secure Israel's agreement, with Israel consenting on the condition of no further Iranian attacks. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff played crucial roles in parallel discussions with the Iranians, utilizing both direct and indirect channels. Qatar emerged as a key mediator, with President Trump personally thanking Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani for his commitment to regional peace, while Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi initially denied any agreement on a ceasefire, stating Iran would cease its response only if Israel stopped its aggression by 4 a.m. Tehran time. Iranian state television later confirmed the ceasefire. Notably, Iranian state media claimed the ceasefire was imposed on the enemy and that Trump had begged for the truce, illustrating the intricate messaging and desire for face-saving as de-escalation unfolded. The conflict and the subsequent ceasefire had immediate tangible economic impacts. Initially, global oil prices surged due to fears of supply disruptions, particularly concerning the Strait of Hormuz, a vital global oil transport choke point. However, with the ceasefire announcement and the perceived limited nature of Iran's retaliation, retaliation, oil prices sharply reversed course. Both U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude and Brent crude tumbled, falling to levels not seen since before the conflict began, significantly alleviating market fears of a wider escalation that could have driven prices much higher. The U.S. stock market also reacted positively, with major indexes closing higher on optimism that the conflict would not expand. European and Asian stock markets followed suit, also seeing gains. Beyond financial markets, the conflict led to significant logistical disruptions. Qatar temporarily closed its airspace following Iran's missile attack on Al Udeid airbase, leading to numerous flight cancellations, diversions, and delays across the Middle East. Doha's Hamad International Airport was closed for approximately 8 hours. Israel's Ben Gurion Airport also experienced closures. However, both airports quickly resumed full operations once the immediate threat subsided, restoring crucial air travel arteries. The U.S. State Department confirmed it evacuated about 250 American citizens and their immediate family members from Israel on government and charter flights. Globally, the ceasefire was met with a sense of relief, yet lingering questions remain. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz welcomed the ceasefire and urged both sides to adhere to it, emphasizing its potential to enhance Middle East and global security. The UK government echoed this sentiment, expressing hope for lasting peace and Iran's commitment to not developing nuclear weapons. China, a vocal critic of the US strikes, called for all parties to return to political settlement. Russia, while condemning the US actions, expressed willingness to assist Iran. Looking ahead, while President Trump has declared the conflict over and expressed hope for a forever peace, and Israel has affirmed its objectives were achieved, including removing the nuclear threat, the long-term stability of the region remains precarious. The exact whereabouts of Iran's enriched uranium, potentially moved from targeted sites before the U.S. strikes, remains unknown, leaving analysts to ponder Iran's future nuclear ambitions. The human cost of the conflict, with hundreds of casualties reported on both sides, underscores the inherent fragility of the situation. Iran's military capabilities have been severely degraded, with their air defense network shattered, tactical air power destroyed, and long-range ballistic missile arsenal heavily consumed. Their command and control apparatus is likely badly battered. If Iran attempts to rebuild its nuclear program, it will face persistent monitoring and potential strikes from Israel, as Israel can maintain air access over Iran for months or years. Staying informed remains crucial in this dynamic global landscape. If this overview provided valuable insight into these critical developments, please like this video, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll continue to track and report on how these events unfold. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.